Hello, Speed Gaming. Hope everybody enjoyed their Mario 3 randomizer. We're kicking it forward through the years, and we are going to be doing some Untitled Goose Game any percent Glitchless tournament. This is a losers bracket round 3 matchup between Ritzblues and shadyforce. I'm going to be your commentator through the next 2 or possibly 3 games. I am Tasselfoot. You can call me Tass. We are going to be kicking things off very soon. I'm going to get the runners counted down. After that stream catches up on things, they will be off and honking for your entertainment. So just give me a moment to take care of that with our runners, and they will be good. They have gotten their signal to honk. I think it's about 25 seconds delay between the live and the restream. So we're going to just talk, me and you guys, for a little bit until they get going. Some information for you. This is a double elimination tournament. This is best of 3. You can expect each one of these games to go, probably 15 to 17 minutes. Based upon the PBs of our runners. Looks like they are off and honking. So twice in the run, once right here at the beginning and once right towards the end of the run, you're going to see something and think to yourself, hey, that looks like it might have been a glitch. But it's not, and we'll see if either runners get it. We call it a half gate clip. Neither runner gets it, so they're just going to do things casual style. But we define a glitch as either involving an item or going through a gate, wall, fence, or over, any of those things. But because we open that gate right there and then we kind of just neck our way through using the game's physics and geometry, it is not considered a glitch and is allowed in Glitchless. We'll see something similar towards the end of the run as well. Everything else is going to be pretty much just intended gameplay done optimally with some tight routing and a lot of RNG and AI manipulation. One of those biggest factors of RNG is the placement, starting position of groundskeeper Willie, who is our main man here that we're battling with in the garden. So we had to get him wet. We had to steal his hat, get his keys, got to put rake in the lake, all of these sorts of things. And it takes a little bit under 2 minutes, or right around 2 minutes, to get through the garden. There's 4 areas in Untitled Goose Game. We need to do is, because this is any percent, we're allowed to skip 1 task. You can unlock each area's final task by completing all tasks -1. Each area has a very long gather task. In the garden, it is putting together a picnic involving 9 items. Takes a long time, almost 2 full minutes by itself. So we skip that in each area. No gather tasks. But then when we unlock that final task, we need to complete it, and that will unlock the area that we need to go to next. Second area in this case. That is going to be High Street, which we can see Ritzblues is making his way towards. Now, casually, you would not be doing what Ritz is doing. This is one of the hidden tasks, which is to make someone buy back their item from outside of High Street. Normally, you would have the little boy here, who we call Timmy, buy back his toy plane, but it winds up being about 20 seconds faster to have groundskeeper Willie buy back his spade, but it is significantly harder to properly juggle him. Ritz doing a great job of it, though. Getting bad RNG positioning from the shopkeeper there, so he's not able to break the broom. shadyforce right behind him, getting Timmy in there, see how his juggling of Willie goes. The hardest part of juggling Willie is actually placing the spade on the table there in the middle of the shop. The hitbox is very, very tiny, and it is not right at the edge, so it is pretty common to drop the spade on the table and have the groundskeeper just not recognize that it's there and go back off to the garden instead of trying to buy back. And then you're fighting with the shopkeeper, and it becomes a whole mess. Thankfully, it did not happen to either of our runners here, getting relatively smooth gameplay out of our high streets. And just like we carried the spade from the garden into High Street, we are going to be carrying a pair of eyewear, either glasses or the viewfinder that Ritzblues has, and we're going to take that to the back garden, which is our third area. Again, for the same reason that it's 20 seconds faster to bring Willie in from the garden to the High Street, it's a little bit faster to bring the glasses from outside of the back garden in, and that's for one of our tasks to dress up the bust, which is basically a statue. And so we need to put something on the head, something for the eyes, and something for the mouth for that statue. And not only is it faster, it saves us a trip between the bottom and the top of Roger's backyard. This is Roger and Tina. They are the tidy and the messy neighbor. But it also provides a really nice distraction towards grabbing Roger's newspaper without him realizing. Now, you don't need to take his newspaper, but one of the tasks is to get both of his slippers off, make him walk barefoot. And he has two different cycles, the newspaper cycle and the teacup cycle. And he shows one of his slippers on each of those two cycles. Newspaper cycle is like 15 seconds long. Teacup cycle is more like 5 to 7 seconds. I'm not sure exactly. And we don't need the newspaper cycle for any of the other tasks. We actually need teacup cycle for that second slipper, but we also need it to make him spit out his tea. And so because of that, it just is much, much faster to steal his newspaper, so you don't have to go through that very long newspaper cycle. So Ritz grabbing these items for the bust. This is kind of part of the run where things can go really wrong. The garden and High Street are pretty consistent. Ritz missing the cycle, the fast cycle for getting Roger to spit out his tea. So he's going to wind up having to wait for another cycle and maybe potentially allowing shadyforce to catch back up. But it appears that Roger is going to chase. I'm not sure what's going to happen, actually. I have a feeling on shadyforce's side that Roger is going to investigate his newspaper, and then he is going to walk down to the bottom of his garden to investigate what happened to the pipe and the hat, which is going to mean that it is going to be heavily delayed before he actually goes and sits down and we can get him to spit out his tea. Also, it's not great that shadyforce allowed Tina to get down to the bottom and repair her gate. All of the NPCs have different prioritizations. It's one of the things you really need to know if you're going to run this game, is what is the order of operations for each NPC. And for Tina, fixing her gate is her highest priority. And so part of what we do at the beginning of Back Garden, ideally, is both to distract Roger, but then also to keep Tina stalled up at the top of her backyard so that she doesn't see that the gate is open. And we want to do a whole bunch of stuff just because of the way it works out for the timing before she goes and does her gate, usually involving the cycles that Ritzblues is on right now. I don't think, Ritz is going to have to hit that again as a stall tactic. I think it was going to be just off. It takes about 8 seconds for Tina to go and fix that gate each time. So especially in this race setting, a little bit better to be safe than sorry. We can hear that bell ringing on Ritz's side. That is the 7-minute speed task bell. It's one of the kind of key moments and like goals for kind of high-end speedrunning of this category is being able to get that rose clip in under the bell, under the 7-minute time. So Ritz was just over that. It was like 7:03 or 7:04, something like that. So pretty darn good pace. Shady, unfortunately, not able to grab that slipper. Roger, high priority on that ribbon. And if he sees it, he will go to it first. So Shady going to be losing a little bit more time messing with his camera zoom in frustration, I'm guessing here. Some other notes for you guys. The runners' PBs, Ritzblues has a 14:37, I believe, and shadyforce has a 16 flat. So about a 1.5 minute difference between our two runners, but execution, all of the cycles in here can easily cost you, depending on the cycle, 15, 20, or even 40 seconds. One of the cycles here in pub can cost you about 40 seconds. If you miss the old man that Ritz is messing with now, if you miss his dart cycle, it does lose about 40 seconds by itself. And overall, all the different pieces of RNG can lose you somewhere between 45 to 60 seconds between absolute best and absolute worst RNG throughout the entirety of the game. So in a run where, top runners are getting under 15 minutes for PBs, that's a lot of RNG and time swing due to luck and randomness. Shadyforce finishing up his back garden, getting a good entry into the house there, getting a nice little butt tap from Tina with the purple sign. Ritzblues having a little bit of trouble getting. This is Vinny. Vinny is the bouncer of the pub, getting his shoelaces. I don't think he is going to make. Because of the fighting there, he did not make it back for the old man's darts. So I think he's going to try to do the toy boat. Toy boat is a 20-second cycle. Again, it's very, very tight. Not sure what Ritz is doing right there. This is Glitchless. Ritzblues is mostly a 100% runner, and I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's trying to juggle the pub lady. Her top priority for everything is the turning off that water tap. So he's trying to do what he can to juggle her. However, he is also stalling the old man in the process, which is not good. I think he would have been okay if he had just done the toy boat and then gone and done the old man on the darts. It's very tight to do that backup cycle, but I have a feeling this is going to lose Ritz more time, because after this happens with the toy boat, there's a good chance that she's going to want to put that knife away. We'll see. I gave Ritz some advice before this run happened, and he did not follow it. I specifically told him that he needs to bump into her during that animation, and it would cancel things for him, but he did not do that. So he is now trying to do more backup things. Shadyforce, not what you're looking for. Do not want Vinny messing around with you. Gotta get those darts. Got it. Box girl in the way as well. This is a little bit problematic. Ritz, also on his side, was able to go things. Oh boy, Ritz going very risky strats there. Trying to run straight into the back of the pub. Definitely, it's something that is theorized and is faster, but no one actually does it in runs because of just how jank and inconsistent it is. On Shadyforce's side, he is playing around with the pub lady. Pub lady, we like to say that she is 1 part linebacker, 1 part Terminator, because she always just keeps coming for you. And she will just box you out and keep you from where you're trying to go. Ritzblues moving on to the final part of the run. That is entering the model village. Oh no. So again, Shady, the same exact thing with Ritz, is that, you cannot stop her once this starts. And now he's running into more problems because Vinny saw him. All you have to do, looks like Shady did not break the dartboard, which is interesting because I swear I saw him do it. Okay, maybe that was just an issue with me seeing. It looked like it wasn't crossed off, but I definitely saw the task get completed earlier. She's going to the final task, but yeah, if you want to run this game, very good piece of information to know. When the pub lady is doing her animation of going to the final task, bump into her. It will cancel out any other priorities that she might have and will force her going to doing her task right away. Shady, just honk, buddy. All you had to do, okay, he got it in time. Could have honked much earlier. Instead, he's trying to give commentator a heart attack by doing late honks. Everything worked out okay. Ritz grabbing his bell. This is the only category in all of Goose Game where you get to actually see the bell return. There are a number of different ways that you can skip the bell return in Goose Game using glitches, but because this is glitchless, we get to see the majesty of the bell return. Ritz playing it safe. Okay, yeah. He could have done a faster strategy there, but he played things safe and is going to go Shady Force, making his way to grab the bell. The hardest part of the bell return is right there in the pub. If you mess things up a little bit, you can lose a solid minute just due to the combination of Vinny keeping you out and other NPCs stealing the bell and taking it all the way to the center of the pub, and the pub lady messing with you some more. It can just be a real disaster. However, things get much easier as you return the bell back to its home. So, there is still work to be done here. We're not going to call things quite yet, but game one is more than likely heading towards Ritzblues' way. Going to take something very tragic happening on Ritz's side to not take home the W. Pretty good RNG there in High Street. Not sure what he's doing. He's getting stuck on the table, actually, right there. There's a move with the bell that you can do. Rich was trying to do right there, where you drop and re-grab the bell. This basically stuns the NPCs sometimes. Sometimes. Not right there for whatever reason. Timmy trying to get in the way. But there you go. Now you can see it on Ritz's side. Basically, the NPCs try to give you their shooing, get out of here animation, and that just basically stops them from running. Really good from Ritz. The manipulation that he did at the very beginning of the game, at the end of the garden, paid off. It meant that Willie was not in the way and got a free run back through the garden. Saves about 4 seconds over Willie's normal position if you don't do anything. Shady having a little bit of trouble with Roger getting his way through, and Ritz going to be taking this one now for sure with a 15:35. Definitely a respectable time. Getting a minute within your PB in a race setting, nothing wrong with that. And Shady making his way. Uh-oh. Where's he going? Okay. Oh, a little tight there. As he also, trying to do some drop and regrabs. Doesn't always work with the TV shop owner. I'm not sure why that is, but some NPCs it's a lot easier to do that with and we're against than others. Like Box Girl and Roger, it pretty much works every single time. The TV shop owner, it usually works, but sometimes takes 2 or 3 drop and regrabs for it to work. And so there you go, normal position there for Willie. Kind of got to just lure him and go around the carrots. Still very easy to do, just takes a little bit of extra time. And Shady also going to be coming in within a minute of their PB. So, always respectable. We're going to be moving along to game number 2 very shortly, I believe. And yep, both runners getting just under a minute off of their PB. 16:57 for Shady Force. Gonna find out if runners need a short break between runs. Shady Force can speed up their credits by pressing the start key on their controller. I hope that they are aware of that. Saves over a minute in terms of how long it takes for the credits to scroll. There we go. Chat coming through with the puns. Goose's goal is to make sure the town gets a no bell prize. Love it. Both runners are ready for race number 2. We are going to be getting set and counting that down. So I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds to do that. Be right back. And the signal to honk has been given. Give us, 20 some seconds. and it will show up for everybody on the restream. And so we've covered a lot of kind of the basics of things in game number 1. Now that we are all Goose Game experts for game number 2, we can dive deep into the strategy here, folks. And I don't know about you, but I am always rooting for a game number 3. Both runners given lots of honks to start things off. We'll see if either runner is able to pull off their hat gate or their half gate clip. Commentator trying to speak properly. Shady whiffing big time. Ritzblues getting the clip. It's about a second slower than you would like to see on Ritz's side. It looked like a very low 25 into the credits. You are looking for about 24 flat or very high 23 if you perfectly execute the maneuver. Pretty good RNG as well for Ritzblues. Shadyforce, unfortunately, getting kind of bad RNG. Hopefully that is not what winds up determining the race. But, okay, Ritz getting groundskeeper Willie wet on the second attempt. We are awfully close here at the start. And placing this hat in the bush is pretty precise. Ritz able to get it. And Shady looks like they should be able to get it as well, hopefully. Yep, there we go. Both runners getting that done. Loses a lot of time if you accidentally place that hat in the wrong spot. And runners, both of them should be messing up the garden here, as we saw the benefit of doing that from the end of Ritzblues' run. Shady appears not to be risking it. They are going straight to the spade. A little bit over 2 minutes on Ritz's side. About, 205, low 205. Versus a 211. It's about 6-second difference here through the garden. As with race number 1, really hoping that the spade buy goes well. It is not what you want to see from a runner, just really putting you in the hole early if that winds up going wrong. And Ritz, yep, you don't want to get too far ahead, otherwise he will lose sight of the goose. Yep, so that's what I mentioned in race number 1. The hitbox on that spade is very tiny, and if you place it on there but not far enough in to actually trigger the hitbox, it can be bad news bears. So even though the shopkeeper has placed the spade, the groundskeeper is not going to notice it unless you grab it back and replace it up there. Really need to get in deep on that. Not sure what Ritz is doing right now, to tell you the truth, but I think Willie has seen it, but unfortunately, because of how long he took, he is going to need to place the boy back in and have the TV shop owner rescue Timmy once again so that we can get Timmy his glasses and so we can get ourselves on TV. And he still has not actually bought it. And this is going so poorly for Ritz. It's great if you want to be seeing a game number 3, though. And Ritz is giving up. He is going back to Timmy, and he is going to get that plane set up. He may have to do with, Timmy has already been let out again. Is going to have to go to a third trapping of Timmy here, I believe. Maybe has Ritz gotten on TV? I can't even keep track of what has been done or what hasn't yet. As Shadyforce making their way into the back garden, switch audio. So, that is not good. We do not Shadyforce was having a little bit of trouble there, going on a safer route. It's faster to place those items behind the close bush, but also very risky to do so. Can lose you about a full minute if Roger winds up seeing them again, whereas doing what Shady is doing, putting them behind the top hedge, is much safer. However, you really don't want Roger chasing you down, and it's a bit of tight timing in order to steal those items without Roger chasing you. And with Tina being right there, you're now fighting her. Can he get himself back? Yeah. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for the raid. New viewers, thank you and welcome to the Goose Gaming party. We are here for some glitchless action between Shadyforce and Ritzblues. Ritz, yep, he had not gotten on TV, so he is trying a third time to get himself on TV and eventually trying to get himself the final task so that he can lock the shopkeeper in the garage and make his way to the back garden. Shady moving right along, getting the bust made up, missing the cycle though, it appears, and is going to have to wait it out. Ritz finally moving on to the final task, luring the shopkeeper with the viewfinder. NPCs do move faster when they are chasing you with an item in your mouth, so pretty much anytime you need an NPC to be in a specific spot and you're waiting on that to happen, luring them with an item is the best way to do that. So, and Shadyforce is going to be made up into a pretty goose as soon as Tina resets the bell, because that is her higher priority, and get her with the gate. Again, like I mentioned, luring her down with that item just makes it a little bit faster. And if Shady does this whole sequence of events really well, he will be able to make the T-cycle, the next T-cycle of Roger, to be able to grab the slipper. We'll see if he can do that. He's going to want to grab the vase and then honk. He honked too far away, I think. Oh, no, he apparently was in range. It was a little further than I would have recommended doing, but yeah, Shady, he's taking too wide of an angle there. If you take a tighter angle, you're in Roger's peripheral vision, and he just doesn't see the ribbon. But if you take that wide turn like he did, that's where Roger is going to see the ribbon. But we do have, I would say, about a 3-minute difference. I'm not sure what happened to the timer on Ritzblues' side. Currently reading 45 seconds. Do not know what happened there, but timer is accurate on Shadyforce's side. And runners did start at the same time, so not worried about any sort of concerns over who might finish first or second. Hopefully we have runners not finishing within like a fraction of a second of each other here, where that will come into a factor. Again, like I mentioned, having chasing you, you grab that bra, just lures Tina up to remove that no goose sign a little bit faster. And by a little bit, I do mean a lot faster. I think it saves like close to 10 seconds by luring her up versus letting her just walk normally. Chat is saying that Ritz reset his high street, and so probably his auto splitter is set up to reset his timer on resets, and that is probably why it reset. I am saying the word reset a lot. But we can persevere and carry on as Ritz is doing. Shady in the pub, performing for the ladies, really good RNG, able to go straight to the old man and make him fall on his butt. Not great pub lady positioning. Shady being safe right there versus trying to just run straight to the right, deking out the Vinny, not good. That is not where you want him. Gotta hit those shoes. Yup. Not really sure why he was right there, to tell you the truth, but he is going to fall over. Very nice recovery, I would say, from Shady. Made sure the pint glass did not break, which is always a concern. That pint glass is very fragile. Hit that other shoe, Shady, I would. Oh, nope. Okay, he's fine. I would have hit the shoelace to stall him, but worked out all right. Bad timing, though, on shadyforce's side. Missed the dart cycle. It is really tight to make that dart cycle, so any kind of issues or mistakes like he had to do dancing with Vinny there is almost certainly going to cause you to miss the cycle. Shady now trying to juggle the pub lady like Ritz did last run. It's very hard to do properly. It's you know, the NPCs want to do what they want to do, and you know, trying to manipulate them to do other things you want them to do is not easy. But Shady actually doing a pretty nice job here of just luring her, and he also now is keeping her. Oh, he's just grabbed the boat though, man. Oh, okay, you got it. It took a little while to turn the water off so that she doesn't aggro back to it. And yeah, she doesn't have anything to worry about. She will go straight to that goose sign. Ooh, and she's moonwalking right there. Love that visual glitch when it happens. Ritz having some issues here with Roger. Not actually sure what Ritz is doing, to tell you the truth. Is he waiting on? He might be waiting on the slipper. Yep. Waiting on the slipper, so you know it is still about a almost 4 full minutes. Why didn't he put any tomatoes out? That was bad on shadyforce's part, but corrected his mistake, realized it, and now Vinny will be putting away his tomatoes right as Ritz is clipping and snipping that rose. It is possible that shadyforce could PB this run. You know, you want to be seeing if you have a good bell return. It's about 3.5 minutes, which would be a small PB. We'll see how that goes for shadyforce. You know, as with race number 1, we do not want to officially call it and move on to a game 3, but it is going to be oh so hard for Ritzblues to catch up here. That little necking action that you saw on shadyforce's side to skip going through the model village, that is the other quote-unquote potential glitch that we do in Glitchless, but again, no item is used, and we do not go through any barriers. We are just going over a fence. We use the geometry of that tree, and we use the goose's neck, and just go straight over it. And we do the same thing to get out. Clipping and snipping, and honking, and loving, and squeezing each other. Ritz using the tables to his advantage. Pub lady still chasing. Oh, she has given up the chase. Oh, do the drop and regrabs. Oh, did not work. It is not working for our runners in either of these races, which is fairly surprising. The drop and regrab is very consistent normally, so I am a bit surprised that it's been giving both of our runners trouble in this match. Good manipulation from shadyforce here. The honk is both to stall Tina and also to lure Roger into that corner so that he will not disrupt you on the way out. So far, pretty solid from shadyforce here. If he can get a good high street and a good garden, he has definitely has a chance at a PB. It'll be close. If he gets it, it's going to be a baby PB, but, you know, a PB is a PB no matter how big or how small. Okay, this is, oh, no, that would have been fine. He could have run straight through the shop. Did not need to go underneath the table. When you are inside the shopkeeper's top priority is to grab the broom and chase you out. So that is what would have happened. She would not have bothered. Uh-oh, bad position. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. When that bell gets on Willie's belt, it can be very difficult to get it off because you wind up grabbing the keys just like that instead. Can he grab the bell? I do think, yeah, this is going to kill any chance of a PB, unfortunately, but he is still going to win the match without very much trouble. Still, for shadyforce, going to be a pretty good run here. Going to be about a 16-15. Ritz fighting it out with Vinny as he's trying to lure him to the back to drop a bucket on his head. Vinny is saying, oh, no buckets for me, please. I do not want to fall and splat myself on the pile of tomatoes. I also think Vinny is too far away. No, it was just on the edge. GG to shadyforce on the game number 2 win. We are going to be going to a game number 3. Who is hyped and excited for game number 3? I know that I am. Game 3 just means some bonus Goose for all of us. Ritz is going to want to just forget this run. Even though he reset in High Street, he's still going to be awfully close to his actual PB at this point. It's going to be over 10 minutes here. And then, yeah, if he winds up getting a bad model, this could wind up being worse than his PB. Plus, he lost like 5 or 6 minutes. So, yeah, Vinny not going. Ah, there we go. Vinny is now going to open up the dumpster, which we need him to do here. This is definitely a glitchless run to forget for Ritzblues. Probably somewhere in the 20-minute range. Is not recommended, not ideal. I'm confident that he's going to be bouncing back in game 3, and we are going to have a heck of a close race. We get to see one more castle fall down, get to see one more bell return here still. Hopefully, we have a good bell return here, and that it sets the table, sets the stage for a very exciting and close game number 3. As always, if you are enjoying the goosing, make sure to give the runners a follow. If you want, you can also give your friendly commentator a follow as well. There is all sorts of goosing that goes on the regular. This tournament is starting to wind its way down. We have 2 players remaining in our winners bracket, myself and Rowan VDV. On the losers bracket side, the winner of this match is going to move on to losers round 4 and face Hippo Krampus. the loser, unfortunately, is going to be eliminated. And yeah, so we will, after this match, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people remaining in our losers bracket. So 7 total folks are left from this tournament that started with 21. Really getting down to the wire, to only the creme de la creme of the Goose game, the a la range of the Goosing Glitchless participation. Other folks in the tournament still remaining: Philip K. Trout, Shatter Mage, and Alley Cat. Pretty much the who's who of the Goosing crew. We have our top 6 on our leaderboards are all still alive and kicking. Yeah, our top 6 on the leaderboard plus the winner of this match. That is who it remains. So, and the top 6 runners all have PBs sub 14 minutes, which is no easy feat, even for the adorable pitter-patter of the Goose feet. Ritz, finishing it up, is going to be just under his PB if we forget about the fact that he reset and lost 5+ minutes beforehand. That we'll just, we'll ignore that for the time being. And we'll say, hey, congrats to Ritz on a 14:29. That's not really a 14:29. So... And yeah, yep. Talking to the runners, we're figuring out game 3. Both of our runners need a minute or so before we begin game 3. So, chat, how are we doing? What's going on, everybody? How are we enjoying the quarantine life? I hope we're all getting to try out some new video games, getting to test out speedrunning of that game that we always wanted to speedrun but didn't have the time. If that happens to be Goose Game, if you happen to be interested in trying it out, there is all of the information you need. Join up to the Discord. We have tutorials for Glitchless. We've got runners who are happy to answer questions. We got streams that go on and people who can help. Some of us have been self-quarantining for decades already. This is business as usual. Nothing has changed. All right, both of our runners are ready. Gonna be given the countdown. The signal to honk has been given. We are going to be getting started here on game number 3. I am certainly hyped. We literally had our last match also went to a game 3. They were some hot garbage matches, but highly entertaining. And all I can do is hope that we have an equally entertaining game 3 here. We certainly don't want what happened to Ritz to happen again. We want both runners to get super fast times and super close to each other times. Tight, back and forth goosing action. Looks like the streams are about a second off or so. Runners are off at the same time, though. Ritz getting a hover there, saving about a second. Shady also making his way through, sort of. Both runners saving about 1 second through those maneuvers. Best case, if you get a really nice half-gate clip, you're saving about 3 to 3.5 seconds. Ritz getting kind of average RNG there. Shadyforce, unfortunately, again, getting some bad RNG. Ritz getting Willy wet. Shadyforce right behind. Oh, yep. That planter is a higher priority for Willy than either of the other two things that he can think about, the watering pail or the spade. Nobody in the community really knows why that is, but when Willy is thinking about the planter, he reacts differently to the goose than if he was on the pail, the spade, or no priority at all. SpeedGaming, thank you for the reminder. But this is Goose to the future. We don't need any link to the past here. The future is Goose. Hoping that everybody stays through this exciting game number 3. Nothing is random except for the RNG. But yes, super close here. 203 versus 20, high 205. About 2-second difference between our runners. It is a lake with a rake in it. Indeed. We're going to be going vroom with a broom. Hopefully this goes better for Ritz. Yep, okay. Wasn't sure at first. It was very close. Yeah, he's not going to get the broom break, Ritz. Not like that. Uh-oh. Now Shady's having problems. Oh, boy. This was by far the determining factor in game number 2, and really hope that it's not here in game number 3. Again, yeah, that hitbox is so tiny. Shadyforce just not able, even though he got it onto the platform, it's not far enough onto the platform, so it doesn't actually trigger. Shadyforce is going to have to do the backup that Ritz did, grab the toy plane, and just, you really hate to see it. I hope, I don't hope any misfortune on Ritz, but, I do want to see a nice and close race. Shady also hitting both of Timmy's shoelaces there. Not optimal. One shoelace would have been better. See if we can get that toy plane on the platform there. That platform for that toy plane, much larger of a hitbox. It's almost like the developers intended for you to place the toy plane there, but did not intend for you to be able to place the spade due to the very tiny nature of the hitboxes. Shady is dancing with the shopkeeper. Never a good position to be dancing with the NPCs. Like, something has always gone wrong when that happens. The less contact with the NPCs that you can make, we like to keep the 6-foot rule where we can. Ritz, yep, it was going a little bit too soon. Otherwise, good job right there with the hat. And now just has to get the pipe. Shadyforce able to move on. And so definitely not as much trouble as Ritz had, but still it is not the ideal situation here. Definitely looking at probably 2 minutes difference between our runners at this point. Indeed. Indeed. We do not want to be catching bird flu. Need to make sure that we keep proper distance from the NPCs. Ritz able to make the cycle. Well done. He gives himself a little windmill of congratulations right there as well. Shadyforce making his way with the viewfinder. For the record, our runners have been using Finder. That is not the only item that you can use. You can use any of the pairs of glasses that are in the high street as well. You can also use the hairbrush if you want. You can also use the lily that is there. All of those items will work. They just, for some of them, will change which 2 items you need to grab off of Roger's table. If you grab the hairbrush, you would then need to grab the glasses and the pipe, because for whatever reason, the hairbrush is a head accessory and can be worn as a hat. And the lily, or any of the flowers, actually, can be used for the mouth item, as can the toothbrush. Ritz finishing up his back garden, going to be under 7 minutes by a good margin. I would say this is probably PB pace for Ritzblues with a 6:39, probably the best pace that he has been on. Really, really good pace, actually. 6:39 is a solid 13 pace. You actually, if you played perfectly on the final 2 areas, you could actually get a 12, I believe, with that, but would be incredibly difficult. But getting a 13 with a 6:39, more than doable. So, not only on the one side, I would like to see a very close race, but on the other, I would love to see a 13 from Ritzblues right here. Nice pub entry. It is not always easy. Not always easy to get in and get those shoelaces. So Ritz, little off on being able to get Old Man on his stool cycle. Uh-oh, not good. Ritz did not honk properly. He went early. Premature honking is a serious problem for gooses of all ages. You may need to see a doctor for that condition. Ritz able to get it on the second try. Breaks the dartboard. As Shadyforce doing a good job of finishing up his back garden. See how Ritz goes on his second entry in there. Gets it. Now he just needs to get the stool. Hopefully this is also a tight cycle. Oh, he gets it perfect. Nice. Oh, grab the stool. Oh, God, I was so nervous. Yep, gotta wait a second. If Ritz had gone right away, Pub Lady would have seen. And, would have then knocked Ritz out of the pub, lost some time. Instead, Ritz is going to do his best to juggle the pub lady, and so that he can grab the toy boat cleanly and without her noticing. He should be able to just run over and grab it. He's going to do a honk to try to lure her down. Well done for Ritz. Turn the water off, and she is now right there at the front. Okay. Yep. He's going to have to run into her, though. Run into her. Oh, he didn't run into her. Should be okay, but it is time loss. Yep, it's okay there. Because she didn't see... She had her rag back on her little hip pocket, so it was fine there, and she did not see the toy boat, so she did not wander off to another item, but Ritz was not heeding the advice that I gave him earlier. He is also losing time for whatever reason. He could have honked much earlier and would have been fine, but... okay. All right. Don't get caught there, Ritz. There we go. Get that tomato. Get that tomato. Drop that bucket. Yeah. Oh man, this is still great pace from Ritz. Definite 13 potential. Looking at 10-20. Shady having some trouble with the pint glass. He's going to have to go the long way around. Can Ritz get up? Oh, yep. There we go. That can also be a problem. It is a very tight rope that you need to walk there. It looks like it's a wide open platform, but it really is not. And because of the odd angle, it's a lot harder than it looks to get up that dumpster without Vinny bopping you off. Ritz grabbing Little Timmy for a second, but we cannot use Little Timmy in Glitchless. Every other category we can. Uh-oh. Shady having some Vinny problems. Oh, not good. Not good there to honking Vinny back into the equation. Ritz, there we go. I was having a little bit of trouble popping his way back out. But, oh, come on, Ritz. Get the 13, man. It will take a relatively clean bell return. He's going to need to wait. Oh, no, that's not good. He needed to wait there, and he didn't. Vinny was too close. And so we're going through the pub, and should be okay. This should be okay. Not the way I would have done it, but he's through. He's through. Oh man. I don't want any commentator curse here. Uh-oh. Why did he drop the bell so far away? Could have taken that bell closer. Saved a second or so, but otherwise, hey, he's getting through clean. You know, you lose a second for safety if you must there. I just, you know, oh, it's gonna be so close. It's gonna be so close on the sub 14. Shady breaking the dartboard. He's gonna try to lure down the pub lady. Unfortunately, she's seen some other things. You don't know all of the things that she's seen. Oh, but we've gotten her to go to her Goose sign. Ritz able to get through High Street cleanly. It is going to come down to groundskeeper Willie. I don't know where Little Timmy is. That's interesting and unusual. Okay, all right. This will be fine. A couple seconds of time loss. So Ritz is going to need to get across the river by 13:42. It takes 18 seconds. Oh, and he's in there at 37. So yeah, we're looking at a 13:55 here. Sub 14 for Ritzblues. Huge PB. What are we looking at? Like a 40-second PB? 42-second PB? Bam! Monster PB right there. Hey, if we're not going to have a close race, huge PB is pretty darn good. Yeah, that jumps Ritzblues all the way from 13th on the leaderboards to 6th. And it now means that all 7 of our remaining players have a PB sub 14. So that is pretty cool as well. GG's to Ritzblues on the win. Hey, Ritz.
Hey, Tess.
Congratulations.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Nice run.
Thanks. Well, after the disaster from the second one.
Yeah, I mean, you got it out of your system, and for game 3, you were just ready to go.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want to talk about the game 2 at all, or are we just going to put that? We're going to completely forget that happens?
I can tell you, like, game 2, like, there was something really awesome that happened. I got the gate clip, like, you know, for once.
You did. Started off strong at the beginning of the run. Some issues with Willie and the spade.
Oh my
unfortunately.
lord.
That hitbox just really stinks.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you know, if you miss it and it falls down, and the shopkeeper gets to you, it's really complicated to get back, because the disadvantage of like the key method is that if you fail, there's almost no way to get Willie to go back. Whereas, like, if you don't pull the keys, you can still distract him, and you can get the spade, and you can try and sell the spade. And if you make a mistake, he'll pick it up and start walking back with it. But you can recover from that.
Yeah, it's that whole issue of having to fight with the shopkeeper and keep him close by and getting him to see. It's definitely a nightmare. But thankfully, best of 3, and we got to see a 1355, man. So
yeah.
When did you think that you were like, oh man, this has a good chance to PB?
As soon as I got out of back garden return, I realized that, like, typically if you get a good return, it's about a minute from rounding the last corner into High Street, something like that, or 20 seconds when you get to the edge of the lake back to your home.
So you were reserved in holding that in till the very end with expectations that something would go wrong.
As soon as I was running into garden, I'm sitting here going, Willie's gonna get spade by return. He's just gonna catch me right at the gate. Okay, no, he's not there. All right, well then he's gonna be like right at the edge of the garden, just blocking me or something. I'm just like going through my mind, just like, what's he gonna do? Where's he gonna be? And what am I gonna do?
Because on my side, I was calling it out as soon as you finished back garden. You had a 639, I believe, on the rose clip, and as soon as that happened, I was like, this has a good chance to 13. And
I had a feeling too, but I didn't want to like think too much about it because I knew I still had pub to worry about. And there were some oddities in pub. I almost missed the stool on the return trip.
Yeah, because you wound up being late the first time in, so you missed the stool and had to wait around for the dart cycle. But then you were clean grabbing the pint glass and getting back in, which allowed you to then make the stool cycle with no time loss, which was really nice. And then minimal time loss from pub lady either when you were after grabbing the boat. So worked out really well.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I got such a good run. So especially after the disaster that second one. I don't think I've ever had a run go quite that topside.
Was there any gold splits in that run?
Let me take a look. I golded back gardens.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. So I don't know what the actual split for that is now.
Yeah. 639 is really respectable pace through back garden. So well done.
Yeah, thanks.
And now you get to go up against Hippo Krampus.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Hippo's definitely been going to town on it. He's one of the newer runners, and is definitely a force to be reckoned with. So.
Yeah, but now only 30 seconds apart on your PBs, so
that feels good. So awesome.
Looks like Shady's here. Shady, GG's on the race.
Yeah, GG.
Thanks very much. GG, Ritz. Nice PB, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. 2 PBs in a row. Who'd have thunk it?
Well, Shady, I was really rooting for you to PB in game number 2. and I think you were on pace all the way until the garden bell returned. And I think Willie was just in a terrible spot for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, it might have been a bit close. I felt like it was a bit of a bad run anyway, even though it might have still PB'd. But I wasn't too disappointed. I mean, I still won the race, and I still at least had some respectable time. But I don't know. I don't think any three of my runs were particularly good, which is just a bit of a shame.
So I think you had some issues with the spade buy in game number 3, similar to Ritz had in game number 2, and that just it's such a time loss that it really winds up dictating the results of the entire run when that gets messed up. And so that was really unfortunate. And I think outside of that, all 3 of your runs, relative to like your golds and your PBs, were all like pretty consistent and right around what your times normally are. So that's nothing to be too upset about, I don't think.
Yeah, it was not too bad. I was happy with some parts. Like I've often had a lot of trouble in random places. I was happy to get the first 2 shovel buys because it often has been very unreliable for me. So the first 2 races, I was quite happy to get at least out of the shopping area on reasonable pace.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, Shady does wind up eliminating you for the tournament. It was a nice run that you had.
Yeah, I had a couple of good races. It's a shame I couldn't get more races in. I know there was a couple of dropouts and stuff, but I had a lot of fun in this race. And I had a lot of fun against Ernie in the first round as well, so it was quite good.
Yeah, you wound up having 2 different races with forfeits against Yisk and Faye. So I'm sure that was pretty frustrating not to actually get to participate, and glad that you were able to get this match in with Ritz.
Yeah.
At least both of my matches went to a best of 3, so like at least I got my money's worth in each of the races.
Yeah. I almost called it when I was stuck in the garage in that second run. I was like, "There's just no way."
I didn't actually see Ritz. What happened that resulted in setting?
I don't know. We were stuck in the garage. I got stuck in the garage with not pub lady, shopkeeper, and like she wouldn't open the garage. She wouldn't go for the chalk. She wouldn't move. I tried like running into where I thought she was. I tried honking. I tried all sorts of things, and I mean I was just soft lock in the garage at that point.
Huh?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. I'm definitely gonna try to go back and look and see if maybe we can figure out what caused that to try to prevent anyone from having that happen again. But definitely just really capped off the wonderful horror of that second run for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, every area was a disaster. Every single one of them after Garden, just something went horribly wrong. So the TV of shame. I put my head in the corner when I forgot the TV.
Yeah, like fourth try phone booth, I think, for you. But you got it out of your system. Everything that went wrong in game 2 went right in game 3. So
segmented all my bad juju into that second run.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of people would probably trade that. You trade the 20-minute run for then getting a 40-second PB on the next run afterwards. So
yeah. Yep. Feels
looking
good,
forward to that next race against Hippocampus.
Yeah, me too.
Either of you guys have any final parting words or thoughts?
Thanks for the race, man. It was fun.
Thanks. Good luck in the next round, and thanks, Tass, for putting this tournament together and doing lots of commentary and stuff. It's really cool. Really
Shady, I hope you come back for the hundo tourney.
I gotta don't make me learn another category of this game. Oh my god!
Please do hundo. That goes for all of you viewers out there too. Play hundo. It's good.
No confirmation that there is going to be a hundo tournament in the future, but we'll see what the future has in store. Need to get through the rest of the Glitchless tournament first, and happy to put it all on. So for our runners today, Ritzblues and shadyforce. Give them a follow if you enjoyed. And I have been your commentator, Tasselfoot. We do not have any of our remaining matches, 3 of them currently scheduled, but keep an eye on that schedule and the Discord for the upcoming races. You are not going to want to miss any of those. And with that, I think we will just leave you guys with a honk.
Honk!
Honk.